good? All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. It's a meeting for the St. George City Council. It was regularly scheduled for last week. We had to postpone it to the storm. So it's scheduled for today, September 17th, 2024, 5 p.m. at St. George City Hall, 14100 Caroline Highway. First thing we'll do, as always, we will do the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States.
We're supposed to have an invocation, but I don't see the gentleman that was supposed to come and do it, so I'll have to skip over that unless somebody here would like to do one. Next time you can see me. All right, roll call for the council. Councilman Edmonds.
Here.
Councilwoman Cook.
Here.
Councilman Himmel.
Here.
Councilman Monticello.
Here.
Councilman Heck.
Here.
We have a quorum. All members are present. Approval of minutes of the August 27th, 2024 council meeting. All council members were provided a list of these minutes by city clerk. Do I hear a motion? Motion to have a second?
Second.
Second. Any opposition? Motion passes. Next section will be our introduction. These are our ordinances that are being introduced for a public hearing to be held on September 24th, 2024. Ordinance to enact Title II, Chapter 7, Title 12, Chapter 4 of the Code of Ordinances relative to the management, regulation, and use of public lands and right-of-way, and to provide for related matters. Ordinance to enact Title II, Chapter 8, Title 12, Chapter 7 of the Code of Ordinances relative to abandoned and operative vehicles on public and private property, and to provide for related matters. Ordinance to enact Title 7, Chapter 16 of the Code of Ordinances relative to sign regulations, and to provide for related matters. Ordinance to enact Title 9, Chapter 4 of the Code of Ordinances relative to permitting carnivals, street fairs, circuses, and other similar activity, and to provide for related matters. Ordinance to enact Title 12, Chapter 5, 8, and 11 of the Code of Ordinances relative to the elimination of blight, and to provide for related matters. That ends our introduction of ordinances. We'll move on to old business. This is the second public hearing, with the third public hearing to be held September 24th, 2024. This is in regard to ordinance to enact Title 9 of Chapter 1 of the Code of Ordinances relative to occupational licenses, and to provide for related matters. Going on to new business. These are items for public hearing and action here this evening. Item number 1, ordinance to enact Part 2, Chapter 11, Title 1 of the Code of Ordinances relative to Alcohol Beverage Control Board, and to provide for related matters. I will open that item up to a public hearing. I've received no emails or cards on this particular item, but if anybody would like to make a comment, I will open up the public hearing this time. I'm seeing none. We'll close the public hearing. Council?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Heck. Second by Councilman Edmonds. Any opposition to this? Seeing none, ordinance passes. Number 2, ordinance to enact Title 26 of the Code of Ordinances relative to alcohol beverages, and to provide for related matters. We'll open that item up to public comment at this time. I've received no cards or emails on this item as well. I'm seeing no public comment. We'll close the public comment period. Council?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Heck. Second by Councilman Himmel. Any opposition to this item? Hearing none, ordinance approved. Number 3, under new business. Proposed intergovernmental agreement of the City of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, the St. George Transition District, and the City of St. George. Just a little information on, well, let me back it up. I've received no cards or emails regarding this item. We'll open it up for any public comment if anybody would like anything to add on this particular issue. I'm seeing none. I will close the public comment period at this time. And all this is doing is authorizing George, and then subsequently the transition district entering into an intergovernmental agreement with the city of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge. So this isn't a final deal. This is just a simple authorization that's allowing that to happen. Councilman and woman. Motion to approve by Councilman Himmel.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Cook. Is there any opposition to this particular item? I'm seeing none. Motion passes. Next item here, resolution to approve contract for building inspection services and planning review services effective October 16th, 2024, and to provide for related matters. Received no cards, received no emails in regard to this item either, but we'll open up the public comment period at this time if anybody chooses to speak. God bless you. I'm seeing none. I'll close the public comment section at this time. Council?
Motion to approve.
I have a question.
Yep.
Where will IBTS be working out of? Where will be the point of, where will folks come to get this service from the city of St. George?
We're working on a temporary building location right now at 13686 Perkins Road.
That's the old St. George Fire Station. That's the current St. George Fire
It's the
Station.
old administration building, which is currently vacant. They've looked at the spot and they said it would suffice as a initial point of operation.
I'd like that we put that on the website or something, let people know where it's going to be as quickly as possible.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
You made a motion to approve by Councilman Monticello. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Himmel. Any opposition to this item? I'm seeing none. Resolution is approved. Last item on the new business, resolution to approve debris emergency management intergovernmental agreement between the city of Baton Rouge and Parish of East Baton Rouge, the St. George Transition District, and the city of St. George, and to provide for related matters. I received no cards, I received no emails on this particular item either. But I'll open it up for public comment at this time. I'm seeing none. I'm close the public comment period at this time. I wanted to give just a little bit of explanation on what this really means. Sherry, maybe you can give a little overview on what exactly this agreement does.
So, for emergencies, particularly related to weather, the city parish has pre-position contracts so that they can procure services ahead of a storm and also after the storm, debris removal mostly. And because you might recall the presentation we had from our emergency team, that we do not currently have a FEMA community identification number. So we would be participating in the parish's emergency contracts. The city parish sent to us a proposed intergovernmental agreement to shift the cost to the city of St. George in the event that the contracts were needed to be mobilized. The mayor president has announced that she has mobilized these contractors for debris removal, and so they're asking that we sign the agreement. And I sent the agreement back with some suggested revisions, particularly with respect to payment terms and other events, because it really was under the assumption that there would be a FEMA reimbursement of 75%, and that's not true for most events, probably. It would be staying in effect until we have a community identification number. Was also that's not proposed term that we would stay under their contracts. Their contracts are up for renewal, I believe, in March.
Just for a point of clarity, Sherry, because I know that had some questions about this. We are currently still part of the parish contract, correct?
Correct. The parish contract covers all areas of the parish except for within the city of Central, the city of Baker, and the city of Zachary. So we are still within the geographic area that the contracts cover.
And we're agreeing to stay in through the end of March. That's your proposal. That's what we're
Until we
proposing.
get a community identification number, but the presentation that happened at the previous council meeting is that probably we would not get that community identification number until after the storm season, probably right around the same time frame.
did do a good job picking up debris, especially where we are. So, I would say they did do a good job out on Goose 2 Road, Tiger Bend Road, Elliott Road, picking up debris. As I saw people putting it out, 2 days later it was gone. They picked it up. I don't know if they did it overnight or what, but I will say it was picked up.
Any other further discussion? Or do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Evans,
I'll second.
second by Councilman Monticello. Am I seeing any opposition? I hear none. The resolution is approved.
Mayor, need to back up on item number 3. The occupational license, we're supposed to have 3 public hearings, so we do need to have the second public hearing today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And-
So I actually have to open it up.
Yes.
I'm sorry. All right, so we go back to old business under number 1, ordinance to enact Title 9 of Chapter 1 of the Code of Ordinances relative to occupational licenses and to provide for related matters. I will open that up to a public hearing if anybody would like to speak on that at this time. I've received no cards, I've received no emails on this particular item.
Which one is that?
We have to answer this. I'm not-
Yeah.
Not-
Okay, so I got it.
Requires 3 public hearings, so we have the first one at the last council meeting, this is the second public hearing, and then there will be, again, the third public hearing at the next council meeting.
We will take
on
action then.
September 24th.
I'm seeing no public comment at this time. I will close the second public hearing. On to other business. The following may be discussed in executive session pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 42:17A2. Mayor President Sharon Western Broom, whereas Chris Riles and Norman Browning, Louisiana Supreme Court, 2023-C-0110A consolidated with 2023-C-01118. Sherry, kind of explain this, please.
The city parish forwarded the proposed intergovernmental agreement that we discussed earlier this evening. They also forwarded a proposed joint motion. The case citation that's listed on your agenda is the citation to the suit that was filed challenging the incorporation of the city of St. George. Their proposal was to go back to the Louisiana Supreme Court and ask them to clarify their judgment, to set forth a specific boundaries and a specific incorporation date. I am not recommending that the council approve that. It is something that you can discuss in executive session because it is the subject of pending litigation if you feel the need to do that, but our recommendation is to not go back to litigation at this point.
So at this point, is this something that the council decides whether or not they want to go into executive session or take the recommendation?
Right, you would need a motion to go into executive session, everyone would have to leave during the discussion.
We would leave.
Or do they have to make a motion to accept the recommendation, or is it just specific to the executive session?
There's no action necessarily needs to be taken.
There's no action if we're not going into executive session?
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody want to make a motion to go into executive session on this particular item? I'm seeing none. All right, that takes us to the end of other business. The only thing left on here that we have is our announcements. So tomorrow at 4:30, we're having the St. George Transition District meeting, September 18th, 2024 at 4:30.
Mayor, I think that the transition district is might be postponed.
Okay,
Due to lack of quorum, we will not be having a transition district meeting tomorrow.
okay, I take all that back. Tomorrow there will be no transition district meeting here. So
Next meeting on the 25th of September.
the next meeting will be on the 25th of September. Duly noted. However, if you really want to come back to St. George City Hall tomorrow at 5:30 p.m., we have the Home Rule Charter Commission meeting. So we missed last week, but luckily we built in a few weeks because we knew that some things would happen. This will be their third time meeting. It's open to folks that would like to come and see what's going on. And once again, this is the time where we're developing and writing our city constituted. So it's a pretty neat process to see a witness. It's not something that you'll see very often, really anywhere. So pretty excited about that. And the last item on here, because we had a miss last week, we got back-to-back weeks for city council meetings. So our next regular council meeting will be September 24th, 2024 at 5 p.m. right here at 14100 Airline Highway. I'll make one other announcement for last week, just in regard to our response to the hurricane. So when we officially became incorporated as a city, and I officially was appointed the mayor, probably within 30 minutes I declared that we would absolutely have some type of weather event here in the city of St. George this year. There's no way that we're gonna escape this. It's gonna at least breeze by us at some point in time. And sure enough, the prophecy came true, but thankfully enough, it skirted right by us to the east at the last second. That being said, it was a great dry run, a test run for us, to kind of test our system, see where we were strong at, where there were some things that we need to improve. I'll tell you this, we appointed an emergency management team here early on for the St. George Fire Protection District. What they did through the entire event was outstanding. So I want the city of St. George residents to know we try to post as much of these things on Facebook and social media as we can for people to really understand what's happening. But we had a fully operational incident management team, the only fully trained and equipped and staffed team in the state of Louisiana. Through our connections with federal resources, we were the staging site of not one but two federal level task force that literally travel all over the world to respond to emergencies like this. And people say, well, why is that so important? The reason why it's so important is that chances are if the storm, the event happened someplace else, they would be staged here, they would be deployed somewhere else. But the reality is this: if we would have taken the brunt blow of a major storm, if we would have taken a major wind event, a major water event, the fact that we had two of these task force, which I can't speak highly enough about, right here in the city of St. George and East Baton Rouge Parish, it was such a tremendous resource to have available to us. So I made the comment during the event, I'll make the comment now, this city, this part of the parish, has never been more prepared for a storm than what we were last week. So extremely proud of the way that we coordinated that with all of our emergency management personnel. As much as we hate when things like this happen, it was great to see a group of people that were motivated, well-trained, and well-equipped, there to handle if something, God forbid, would have happened that was far worse than what it was. That being said, we learned some lessons along the way. We'll certainly do things a little bit differently next time, as we always should, right? There's always learning lessons involved in anything. Luckily, we had to learn on the run, but we didn't have to learn in water. And we didn't have to learn with a bunch of trees on top of us. Absent of a few down trees and the inconvenience of people being out of power for a little bit of time, it was a wonderful exercise to make sure that we were fully prepared to handle the storm, and we absolutely were. So I just wanted to commend all the people that were involved in that. It was truly a huge team effort, and it was, I hate to use the word fun because it wasn't fun, but it was motivating and inspiring for me to witness. As a resident of the city of St. George, you should be very, very proud of the men and women that are dedicated to providing that not only during disasters and storms, but that do that every single day of their lives. I would have been remiss if I would not have mentioned and given them the credit that they deserve. So that's all I have. Anybody else have any other comments?
Motion to adjourn.
I hear a motion to adjourn by Councilman Heck. Second by Councilman Himmel. Any objections? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming out. See y'all next week.
All right.
Thanks for coming to sit with us, Mark. Appreciate the support.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna bring this so somebody knows how to turn it off. Y'all know how to turn this thing off from being live? Talk to you.
I was getting the red button. That didn't work.